Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PayDirt podcast. We got a special episode for you today. The Wrestlemaniac is in the building. Happy WrestleMania to all our wrestling fans out there. Getting into a little bit of sports entertainment, I wanted to bring my guy, Julian Darmetko. I met this man because he is in the chair right next to my guy, Demetrius. Shout out,
yes,
Demetrius.
Sir.
Got me that fresh cut
hell
on
yeah,
Friday.
Hell yeah.
Fresh fade Friday.
My boy's a beast.
Yeah, he is. Shout out to him. We love that guy. If you guys aren't familiar, my guy Julian co-owns Common Ground Barbershop in Half Moon, right near Fred the Butcher. Shout out Fred the Butcher as well.
Yes.
You can sponsor the show at any time. I'm pretty sure I'm sponsoring them at this point. But Julian, it's really great to have you to get into something that's a little different than what we normally get into. And for the wrestling fans out there, I want to kind of get into a little broader horizon with that. You are the biggest wrestling fan I know. You have wrestling tattoos. You are pumped and excited for this weekend. Please give me your backstory. What, how and why did you fall in love with wrestling?
Number one, Tim, thank you for having me here. Number two, thank you for just embracing WrestleMania. Shout out to WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, man. Shout out WrestleMania.
Happy WrestleMania to anyone who is actually watching this, because WrestleMania is absolutely sick, and anyone who is actually a fan is hyped for this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, I've been a wrestling fan for a super long time. I fell in love with wrestling when I was really young. I was probably like 12 years old. I've always been super into the art of like storytelling. So that's really what brought me into wrestling. I always loved the art of storytelling. And it just kind of takes your mind off everything else and brings you into this different world. It's like a never-ending soap opera. So it's not like when you're watching a season of like Netflix or something and then it ends. Yep. It just keeps going. So it's very easy to get lost within the world of sports entertainment or wrestling.
So essentially what you're saying, it's like reality TV, but with flying bodies and hospital visits.
Yes. The men and the women are actually amazing. The women have actually taken over the sport within the last few years.
Last night was big for them.
Last night was huge for women's wrestling. They headlined WrestleMania last night, and they put on a goddamn show. So the men and the women the last few years have actually they've really taken over. It is like a soap opera for sure. It's like a never-ending soap opera, pretty much, with physicality.
But for those of you now, it's always the joke, right? Oh, wrestling's fake, this, that. But there's real injuries, there's real bodies flying, and there's storylines. And the one thing that I kind of fell in love with when I was younger, not so much now, but like, with The Rock, all the guys, Steve Austin, you know what I mean? The Kurt Angle, like those people that's very nostalgic for me. And I get it. It's so enticing to be like, oh, the storyline in this person, because in reality, it's real life.
Absolutely.
And it's scripted, but also in the sense of they put out a fantastic product, and people, there's fanatics
Absolutely.
everywhere.
So I've heard the whole wrestling is fake thing it is immediately for someone who's not a fan, it is immediately the reaction to say that, which it is. It is fake, but fake is such a broad word because it's scripted. If you're going home and you're watching a movie,
there's a difference. There's definitely a difference.
If you go home and you watch a movie, is that also fake? You know what I'm saying?
Technically, it's scripted.
Yeah, exactly.
It's scripted.
That's always my reaction to saying that wrestling is fake, because if you're actually a wrestling fan, calling it fake is just kind of downgrading it. You know what I'm saying? Where these people, absolutely, these people like put their whole heart into it, and I think a lot of times when people call it fake, they're not like trying to like hate on it. It just comes off as that. But yes,
right.
Like even I try to like explain it to them, like even movies are fake, but it's just like a long movie. But yes, usually like sports are not scripted, so that's why it's a little different.
But then at the same time, though, there is there's a lot of ad-libbing going on by their performers. Like if you know, it's entertainment, but these are real people and real people's lives and real, you know. Yeah, it's the only thing is that it's scripted. I think it's fake. Well, that's a super broad term. So it's kind of it more so definitely downplays the actual like showmanship, charisma, everything that goes into being a professional wrestler. If people think that's easy, you go out there and you do a match, see if you can move your entire body the day after. I guarantee you won't. These
absolutely, yes,
ladies
yes,
and gentlemen, they all put their basically their livelihood on the line for your entertainment. That's huge.
Yes, absolutely. And I think anyone who appreciates wrestling, they're obviously everyone knows it's fake, but I don't appreciate it I don't watch it as if it's real. I watch it with the appreciation of the actual product that you're getting. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of art in a way. Like
absolutely, I appreciate the art of wrestling. Like if you're on the ground and you're pretending to be hurt, even watching the way you pretend to be hurt, you're telling a story with those fake emotions. You know what I'm saying?
And they're characters, yeah.
Absolutely.
Everybody's a character in this storyline, and that's what gets you so wrapped into it, which is awesome because that means they are doing their job at the highest standard.
Yes, when wrestling becomes its best is when real life and wrestling collide, and then you get the realness of the person in wrestling. Like you said, like a couple classics like Stone Cold and The Rock and John Cena, they're all greats because they're just in the ring being themselves as opposed to being another character.
Right. They're being authentic and genuine.
Yes, exactly. That's what makes wrestling amazing. That's why it's in my heart. I love it. I love wrestling.
There's one reason that I know you're passionate about it, and that it takes the real person in that storyline and together. Because you have some wrestling tattoos, and I wanted to make sure we touched on that. So give me the rundown, man. Give me the rundown. Why and where and how?
So obviously, I have a lot of tattoos. I'm very passionate about a lot of things. Wrestling is one of them. So one of my very first tattoos was the belt. I got the belt.
Oh, that's sick.
I was like 18 years old when I got that, and honestly, it hurt like a motherfucker too. I was like, "Yo, yeah, goddamn!" But yeah, that was one of my first tattoos.
He is the real deal, folks. This is what I'm saying.
Yes,
he is the real deal.
I have this whole arm is actually covered with this guy. His name is Bray Wyatt, and the way he told one of his storylines really captured me, and it just like kind of hit my heart a little bit. So that's why I have a bunch of Bray Wyatt on here. It's hard to tell because they're all really dark, but yes, I have quite a few wrestling tattoos all over.
It tells a story. It also tells a storyline, though. So, like, that's what tattoos are about. You know what I mean? It's something that holds true to you and that you're passionate about, and to put on your body. And I mean, the WWE, the belt right there. That's when you knew. That's when you knew you were a WrestleManiac.
When I actually got it when I was 18, me and my friend TJ were actually talking about it because I had flirted with the idea of going to like wrestling school and learning to wrestle.
Yep.
And I had like in my head, I had this imagination that like I would do some cool move off the top rope and then like show my tattoo and somehow it would get the crowd into it.
Yeah.
That's funny. When I was like 18 years old, I'm like picturing this in my head. Hilarious.
Yeah. And now you're like, I cut people's hair.
Yeah, I'm like, I cut hair, but got the cool tattoo. Yeah, whatever.
If you gotta give them the people's forearm.
Exactly. You know it. Exactly. Right to the face, dog.
I love it. So let's get into last night. So as we're recording this is it's Sunday. So Saturday was the first night of WrestleMania. Tonight's the second. As far as the first night, couple questions for you. Now, what was the most underrated match in your opinion that surprised you the most, and what one were you pleasantly surprised that was actually better than you thought it'd be?
The best match of the night there was two really good matches. The main event was the girls' match. That match was awesome, but I think that was very expected to be awesome. Like we knew that was going to be, we knew that was going to steal the show, and it definitely stole the show. The one match, it was Seth Rollins versus Cesaro, which didn't have much of a build up, but they threw it on the card because these two dudes really know what they're doing inside the ring.
Yeah,
and they busted ass. Like they tore the freaking place down. So that match wasn't supposed to be like I mean, it probably was supposed to be a 5-star match, but the build up just wasn't huge. But that match,
because the weekend's so huge. Most people think that it still should be one night and not two. I mean, I know that's, wrestling fans, it's very much all the way. But do you like the 2 nights? That way it's built up as a weekend, or would you rather at one night and just be an absolute spectacle?
I actually hated the idea at first of the 2 nights because they've done this a couple of years in a row. But now I love it because it's like a whole. It's like a whole week thing now. Yeah, so
dude,
they have. So now it's like Monday Night Raw, Hall of Fame, Friday Night SmackDown, and then 2 days of WrestleMania. It's like a whole week of celebration, which I love. Like, give me as much as
that's
possible.
what I'm saying. That's exactly how I feel about football. Like, I love it. So the Monday night game, right? And then, okay, you had a whole weekend of football. You're ready to kind of 2 days, and then boom, Thursday night football. And then by the time you have enough football, bam, there's Sunday, and then boom, it goes again, and it's the buildup. I think the 2 nights for fans, it's better. I think the WWE, it doesn't necessarily always think about. Now I say integrity. I kind of wish I had a better word for it, but they kind of like whatever is going to put our fans' asses in the seats and get them stuck to. We are going to do it, and that is one thing I absolutely love about that. And Vince McMahon, that's
the bottom line is that they want to make money, and they're doing a good job making money. They're doing a really good job.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
That's Julian Darmetko said so, baby.
Let's go, baby.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so those matches, without a lot of buildup, I think maybe that's what made it as good instead of the other way where they hyped it up, and then it's like, it was good, but whenever there's a product out there, you don't want to hear it was good, but
it is always good when the unexpected surprise hits you because you expect so much out of some things when it comes to wrestling, and sometimes your expectations are so high and you get let down. So when the bar is very low and it goes very high, it's very cool when it comes to wrestling because you're like, shit, that was awesome. Like, that was not what I expected, and that was sick. Like, that was awesome.
Like that when a surprise happens like that, and it's just like, oh, this is why I love it so much.
Yes, it's like it hits you. Yeah, it hits you unexpectedly, like in your feelings. You're like, wow, that was really cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So whenever it unexpectedly does that, it is always very cool because a lot of times, like you said, the build up to a match or a pay-per-view or something will be really high, and it's so high that it's hard to meet those expectations.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I see too with like boxing and different things like that. Like it's like
MMA, UFC. UFC is probably the biggest one where it's like the hype is so big because they put out so much trying to get the fans and like
so many promos,
so many promos. Yes, that sometimes it's just not. It's not as good as you think it's going to be.
No, for sure. Now, if I'm correct, it was Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Now, I want to make sure I'm saying it. Bianca
Belair. Yes.
Belair. Okay, Bianca Belair.
And that match was one that was supposed to be 10 out of 10, and that shit knocked it out of the park, too. That was
12 out of 10.
Yes, it was awesome. I was sitting here with my little sister, and we were watching it last night, and we were both like, blown away, and it was supposed to be sick, and we were both still like, yo, did you see that? Like, that was sick.
That was even sicker than we thought it was gonna be.
Like, yo, that was awesome. My sister, after, she's only 12 years old, and she was like, yo, we should watch that again. I was like, yo, that sounds sick. Like, that's how you know it's a good match. And it was very cool because no one knew that the girls were going to headline WrestleMania, and it was only the second time that girls have headlined WrestleMania, and
that's awesome for them.
Absolutely. The women of WWE are straight up. I told my sister this. I was like, the women are better than the men. Like, they really are. They're so goddamn good. It's wild.
And they're also kind of the underdog as well, even no matter what, because it's just that stigma around like, oh, girls wrestling, okay, they're just going to be in bikini tops and mud wrestle. It's like, no, these girls really get after it.
No, they're badasses.
Bianca
Absolutely.
Belair, she showed some real raw strength. She was doing a vertical suplex when I was watching. I was like,
Bianca Belair was shoulder pressing Sasha Banks. Like, Sasha Banks only weighs, I don't know, maybe like 120 pounds. But this girl was walking around like with a shoulder press woman above her head. It was so unbelievably amazing. And one thing, Bianca Belair, as soon as this is my favorite part of the show last night, they got down to the ring. Bianca Belair is very young. I think she's younger than me. I think she's like 24 years old or 25. Wow. She's young. So as soon as she got into the ring, it was, and the bell rung, it was Sasha and Bianca Belair. They were facing each other, so they were like looking at each other. And Bianca Belair, deadass, started crying. Like, she just started crying.
Oh my God.
Like, out of like excitement and nerves, you know what I'm saying? Because she was and she was so happy to
that gives me chills.
It was so
imagine. And also it's been a year where they've had to do virtual fans. So seeing 25,000 screaming fans and there to see you and not experiencing that in at least a year's time, that's big. I'm sure she was overcome with a lot of emotion.
Yes, it was unbelievable. And then it was cool because like they're obviously like they're supposed to hate each other, Sasha and Bianca, but I could read Sasha's face, like she was like trying to tell her to like you're all good, like calm down, like we're about to tear this we're about to tear this shit down.
We're about to tear this shit up.
Yeah. And then they went at it and they tore it down. They killed it.
Oh, I love it.
It was awesome, dude.
The girls got after it, man.
Dude,
that was a headliner.
Literally headline the whole show. I doubt there is going to be a match tonight that's going to be as good as that.
Are you now? I'm glad we're kind of getting into that too. I hear from my research of what I've done into it, like Roman Reigns is the guy. Like I feel like he is. Now comparing it to football, I was doing some research, seeing what he's about, and I'm like, it seems as though with the wrestling community, he's kind of like a Patrick Mahomes. Like he was the one that was he was kind of like almost the chosen one. Like he had been hit. I heard a story about his dad from Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's an awesome guy, by the way.
Yes, Paul Heyman's the man.
That's the guy. But is Roman Reigns, like, to you, in your opinion, is he kind of the bad guy that people are like, oh, he's at the top, or do more people? Is he very popular, as in people like him? What story does he play in this?
Roman Reigns is the best in the company. He is the chosen one, so he is chosen to the best. But you only become the chosen one when you are the best. I think people don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that. To be the chosen one, to be the champion, you have to also be the best. Obviously, you're chosen to be the best, but you have to be the best. A lot of fans will turn on you because they're like, "Oh, he was chosen to be the best." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, you're a sellout.
Yes, but he is the best. But recently, they've turned him from face, which face means a good guy, to heel, and heel means a bad guy. So they've turned him into a bad guy, and now he's getting very embraced because now Roman Reigns can be himself as opposed to just trying to like be this.
People want him to be
this marketable guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's now becoming so big as a bad guy where he's more marketable now than he ever was. But yes, he's now the John Cena of this generation. John Cena is gone, and Roman Reigns is now Roman Reigns.
Yeah, now he kind of flipped the script on people, so that was great. That's great from a storyline perspective, and because his dad and there's a picture I saw him the other day with, I believe it was Hulk Hogan, and it was someone else that's like, I didn't recognize the face, but if the name came to me, I'd be able to. So, and it was literally Hulk Hogan, just like.
Absolutely, yes. So a lot of the people who are in WWE now have been brought up in WWE. They're almost
it's a family.
It's a big family affair. Roman Reigns is actually like The Rock's cousin, and Roman Reigns' cousins are the Usos, who are also part of Roman Reigns' faction right now. So everyone is really connected in the WWE. It's not like unknown to come from the outside, but a lot of times the biggest stars in WWE are part of like the WWE family, which Roman Reigns is.
Yeah, so it's a big umbrella. Like I see, NXT and all those.
Yes.
There's a lot of different facets under that umbrella. But now
Hmm.
you're seeing that new generation kind of come up, and Roman Reigns is kind of like that that generation of wrestling fans rock for us. Like
Absolutely, yes.
we were doing everything that The Rock did. We were hitting
Yes,
the
yes,
we were hitting the
yes.
eyebrow. We were like, what's cooking? Oh shit!
Yes.
I burnt the food. Oh god damn it! Like I
There's
burnt
a
the pancake.
I think there's a lot of kids going around right now throwing Superman punches. That's Roman Reigns' thing. I think there's a lot of kids going out Superman punching stuff like that.
Yeah, well, a couple challenges on YouTube or something like
Or
that. And
TikTok.
honestly,
TikTok's a big thing now.
well, that's another conversation. Yeah, but that's why too. I wanted to get a little bit of educated from you on like who Reigns is because
Mhm.
when I was researching, I was like, okay, but the internet can say a lot of things. I'm like, what do real wrestling fans think about
Yes,
Roman?
the real guy Roman Reigns. I think a lot of at first it was very hard to get to know him just because they
Mm,
protected him so hard, but now they kind of
ah,
have unleashed him to just be himself, and now the
mhm.
wrestling community kind of gets to know him, and now he's embraced as the man now by most wrestling fans.
Okay, so that makes sense now.
But at first, it was very easy to hate him. Yeah, everyone was like, "Ah, I hate this guy."
Yeah, yeah. This guy's never had to work for
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
stigma that came off. Yes,
The
exactly,
same old
exactly.
story. This guy's not a Rust Belt guy. He doesn't have the lunch pail at lunch and whatnot kind
Yes,
of guy.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I got you. I got you. So, who's Roman facing tonight?
Roman Reigns is facing Edge and Daniel Bryan, and it's one of those
Woo!
it's one of those ones that's supposed to be a
Woo!
10 out of 10. So it's exciting.
Do you think it will? What are your expectations? Even though it's supposed to be a 10 out of 10, what's your expectations for it?
I think it's I think it's going to blow the roof off the place. I mean, there is no roof in Tampa Bay, but if there was, I think that thing would fly off. I think that thing would fly off. I actually I have as a fan, I think it's going to be really good. The whole build up, the whole storytelling of the whole thing has been really good, and all three wrestlers have actually had career ending injuries, and it's
Mm,
kind of cool to see they've all three of them have fought back and now are in the main event of WrestleMania tonight, which is very very cool.
that's so cool. That's such a cool storyline too.
Yes, it's very
Having them
cool.
to do that. Yeah, that um when so there I remember Edge.
Hmm.
I've heard of Daniel Bryan. Now it's a three-way, so every man for himself.
Yes, 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 yes. Every man
Oh
for
boy.
himself. Roman Reigns does not have to get pinned. Daniel Bryan can pin Edge. Edge can pin Daniel Bryan. So Roman Reigns doesn't have to get pinned to lose. But yes, it will. It's one on one. It's very very exciting.
I feel like there is going to be a lot of shenanigans
There is going
going
to be
on.
some shenanigans for sure. There's going to be a lot. I think this is going to be a long one. This is like a 45-minute match here. It's going to be a
Yeah,
long one.
is this the main event for tonight?
This will end the show. Yeah, this will be the main event
Wow.
for tonight.
I mean,
Yes.
you got to end it with a bang, baby. It's WrestleMania.
Listen,
It's
it is going to end.
WrestleMania.
It is WrestleMania. It should end with a bang. It's very
I
exciting. I
love it.
love
I
it.
love it. I
I
love it.
freaking can't wait, dude.
Now, as far as last night, I see Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny.
Yes, yes,
He
yes.
defeated The Miz and John Morrison. Now, I remember seeing The Miz. I've seen their show. That's more where I know them from than their actual wrestling career. Um,
Yes.
that match seemed to be definitely up in entertainment. Did you watch that match?
Yes, it was really good. The Miz is actually probably he's really good at acting and storytelling and less in-ring talented, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
and so it's
you need people like that. Yeah.
yes, so he's really good at being a bad guy. So he actually like he told the whole story through that match. But Bad Bunny surprisingly was so awesome. Like for never he's never been in a ring. Like it was very very cool. That match was actually one of my favorites. It was a very good one. Yes.
Now, what I read on ESPN beforehand is that might go down as the most impressive celebrity showing by a celebrity in the ring.
I don't doubt that for a second. Usually they get a lot of celebrities and they come and they like do a couple moves and then the crowd chants and that's really what they're there for. So whenever a celebrity comes and actually
throws down,
actually gets into the sport, not only do that, like he probably gained so many new music fans just because he gave so much to the WWE like universe last night. Like he really put his all into that. Like I'm about to buy his goddamn CD today just because of that. You know what I'm saying?
I had no real clue except for seeing him on the commercial with Snoop Dogg, and then as I was reading ESPN, then I see chart topping Grammy winning musical artist Bad Bunny. I thought he was a wrestler. Like I thought he was a wrestler, and then I looked down and I'm like, the most impressive showing by a celebrity. I'm like, this guy put on.
Yes. So if you don't know Bad Bunny, I think that Bad Bunny is pretty well known. But if you're watching this and you don't know Bad Bunny is actually one of like the biggest stars like in the music world. Yeah. But a lot of like in United States, obviously we speak English, so like a lot of people don't know that because he's Spanish. But I know that because I work next to Tony at the barbershop, who's a Spanish guy who plays him all the time.
He likes Bad Bunny.
Yes, but he's one of the biggest music stars in the world. Just for him to be part of wrestling last night was sick, and then like you said, for him to actually throw down in the ring was very cool. It was very special. It's always cool when someone from the outside comes in and really embraces WWE, kind of like Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, and he also had counter moves for Miz and Morrison.
Like he was in the back training for the last he must have been actually like busting his ass back there because it was awesome.
I think it was dedication. It wasn't something that it definitely looked like it wasn't something that he was not prepared for. Like
no, he went so into that. For it. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Did he just do that? I was like, yo, let's go.
That was wild. And that now when that match scene that you gotta love when someone really gets into it, gets into your character, and gives the people what they want.
Absolutely.
Now you saw Shane McMahon get his ass beat last night in the cage.
Yes, that was per expected. Like Shane McMahon usually goes into WrestleMania, gets his ass beat by a good guy, and that's usually how it goes. But
that's the way the story goes.
That's just the way it goes. Like wrestling always repeats itself in history, and that's what you expected, and that's what we got. So that was a good one, but that was an expected one. It was an expected. Yeah. Yes, it was very good. It's always cool to see the giant get bullied by the little guy, and then the giant, or vice versa. It's just the bully gets his ass beat. It's a good storyline.
We always like to see that. I mean, Shane McMahon, he was trying to get whatever he could get his hands on. Chair. I saw a toolbox in there.
Like
part of the cage.
A whole bunch of shit. Yeah.
Damn.
None of it worked. You know what? Bullies get their ass kicked. That's what.
They needed it. Hey, we appreciate Shane McMahon for getting in the ring. I like that he's a part of the story, and he is not afraid. Even though it's Daddy's company, he's like, I'll get in there.
Absolutely, dude. 52 years old too, dog.
I mean,
unbelievable. My dad's 52. My sister said it last night. She was like, "Yo, Dad's 52." I was like, "Yo, Dad ain't going nowhere near that ring." Like,
no. Now, that was definitely a good match, and you'd like to see different things getting thrown out there. Mm-hmm. Now, as for tonight, we already went through Roman Reigns, so that's one thing that I wanted to touch on because I really wasn't sure what people like, what their feelings are on that. But I am ready for tonight. I bet you are.
I am so goddamn excited. I can't wait.
What other match than Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan? What other ones are you excited about?
There's one more that I'm real excited for. It's this guy Big E versus Apollo Crews. Big E is the Intercontinental Champion, and they're both big ass dudes. Like, and they're both so like agile and athletic. Like they're going to kill it. They're going to kill it in the ring, and it's anything goes. So they're going to have like anything to their disposal. And they've told a great story leading up to this, and I'm like, I think that one is going to be like, that's going to be one of the best matches of either day too.
And it's for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes,
yes. Big E and Apollo Crews.
Yes.
I like that. I like that.
Now the Intercontinental Championship, dude. Absolutely, the Intercontinental Championship is like, it's not like the top; it's like the middle one. but the middle one always gets like the new guys kind of coming in, and then they'll elevate themselves. But yes, everyone in the middle always tries to get to here. So the matches that are like in the middle are usually like one of the best matches.
Yeah, because also these guys or gals, because there's the Raw Women's Championship is tonight as well.
Yes.
They get a chance to show their stuff on the biggest stage that wrestling has to offer. They're going to give every single ounce that they got until one of them is not moving.
Absolutely. They're not worried about, I mean, they're probably a little worried about getting injured, but tonight this is what they worked their ass off for. So they're going to give it
this is their
Super Bowl of wrestling. They're going to give it their all tonight.
As they should. Good. Mm-hmm. So you got the Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. What do you think is going to go on with that match? How do you feel?
The women are always so good, like I've said, but this one they kind of threw together pretty late, so there's not a lot of expectations here. But Rhea Ripley is a very newcomer. I don't know if she's ready to get the title yet, but we'll see. Like last night, Bianca Belair has only been in the WWE for like 6 months and she has the title, so maybe Rhea Ripley will take it from Asuka. But we'll see. I'm excited for that one too.
Oh yeah, that one looks good. Now, Bray Wyatt, who you're talking about before, is facing Randy Orton. I didn't realize his nickname was The Fiend.
Yeah, so Bray Wyatt actually has a different, like, he turns into like this evil spirit type thing, which is which is like The Fiend, kind of like the Undertaker, but the Undertaker was always the Undertaker, but Bray Wyatt kind of turns into an Undertaker type act. Yep. And then he'll wrestle. So it's going to be very cool. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt have been going at it for like 5 months. Yeah. So it's cool. It's going to be very cool.
This is probably like the head to their. It's
conflict. The head. This is the ending here. This is the ending.
They meet at WrestleMania, and then it's we go our separate ways.
Yeah, separate them, please. I've seen enough of this one.
Yes. You've seen enough. So, needless to say, you're probably you're going to watch. You're going to be, but you're ready for the story to probably come to an end, right?
I'm ready for it to be over.
Start a new one. Right.
Yes. No, let it rock. Well, let's different storylines.
I love it. Now, United States Championship, Riddle versus Sheamus. Mm-hmm. What the United States Championship? I would say is that right underneath the
Yeah, that's also like a middle championship. So yeah, it's going to be a sick match. Like tonight's matches are all expected to be very good. Unlike last night, there was a couple matches that probably a little shaky, but tonight is going to be stellar. Also, side note, Matt Riddle, who's the champion, actually went to Saratoga High School, so he's actually the champion.
Shout out
to Matt Riddle.
Yeah, shout out. Damn, wow, that's cool. So it's something that hits a little close at home. That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, we're from the 518. We make it no matter what we're doing.
Absolutely. Come on now.
We're everywhere, baby. We're everywhere.
Come on, let's get it, baby.
Yes. Now, this one seems. I'm not quite sure. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. How do you like that one?
Logan Paul. I don't even know what he's gonna be there. Yeah. So anyway, Logan Paul is like a special like guest, I guess. No one really knows what he's there for, but it just is.
You're gonna tune in to find out, though.
Yeah, it's just intriguing. Yeah, we'll see. Like
he probably will wrestle, or I'm sure he'll throw something in there. You know what I mean? I mean, he's an entertainer. He needs more follows and subscribers on YouTube. So absolutely. He's in there like swimwear, baby.
He's in there trying to promote his name, and maybe he likes WWE too. We'll see. I don't know.
He got cut a check.
Yeah, he definitely got cut. He got cut a big one. He got cut a big check.
He got the bag to be on WrestleMania.
Yes,
please,
yes, he did.
Come on over. Now, the last one we got on the schedule, it looks like Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus the night one winner of the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. So let's see. Who do you know who they're facing? Who Nia Jax and Shayna are facing?
Yes, it's who the hell is it?
Yeah, who won last night?
Let's see. Carly, you remember who won the tag team championships last night? Or who won that match? I don't remember. They threw that one together. That was
okay.
That was like a forgettable moment of the night for sure. But they're trying to pull it back together tonight by like making it a tag team match, but it'll be like another forgettable moment for sure.
So they were essentially in the boardroom a couple nights forward and were like, we need something. Oh, I know.
Absolutely. Yes,
here we go. Let's throw it together.
They threw it together. It was very un-WrestleMania like, but I don't know. Sometimes you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Yes,
now, that one, I'm gonna say people probably are not that excited about.
That probably has the least excitement for sure.
But because it was thrown together, probably there wasn't.
It was thrown together. I might eat a slice of pizza during that one. I can't lie.
Hey, you know what? No harm, no foul. It's a long weekend for you WrestleManiacs.
It's the weekend. Also, it's WrestleMania weekend, so pizza's allowed in the diet too.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
It's WrestleMania weekend.
I don't blame you. Just walk away from the TV during that one. Come back. Do some push-ups and some squats.
Yes, we'll regather ourselves.
Yeah, get ready for the big one at the end.
Absolutely, yes.
I love it. All right, so it looks like that's a schedule for the night. Now, wrapping up, is there anything else you want the people to know about WrestleMania wrestling in general?
I just honestly, not really. If you watched this, then thank you, and Tim, thank you for having me because I just had an absolute blast. So thank you so much.
This is great, man. Listen, I really appreciate you coming on and getting into a world that maybe like me and Donnie aren't quite kind of accustomed to. Like we don't really pay attention too much to that, but it's really good for our fans to get somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about. And the biggest wrestling fan I know to help them run.
It's an honor. I love it.
Hey,
it's an honor.
Hey, I'm really glad we got a chance to put this together, and I'm sure the listeners of the PayDirt podcast that love WrestleMania are also going to appreciate from this as well.
Dog, absolutely. Thank you for having me so much.
You're welcome, man. I appreciate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the PayDirt podcast.
PayDirt, shout out.